highly contagious and potentially dangerous strand of influenza is sweeping through New South Wales childcare centres. Nicknamed the Kindy flu, just under 9,000 children between the ages of 6 months and 5 years have contracted the virus this year. A vaccination rate below 2% among children have experts concerned this winter could see the worst flu season on record. Joining us live now is Dr Charlotte Hespe, New South Wales and ACT Chair of the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners. Thank you so much for your time. Are you able to tell us about this strain, which has been nicknamed the Kindy flu, and how dangerous it is?
Look, as everybody knows, upper respiratory tract infections and sort of influenza viruses are particularly good at spreading in the childhood setting. We've been warning this year that the influenza strain coming over to us from Europe has been quite a nasty one there. So we were prepared for that. But yes, you're right, there's high numbers already spreading amongst the little ones because they're not so good at doing all of those hygiene things that we've learned over COVID, are so good at preventing spread. And so it's really, really important from my perspective and all of those in the health setting that we try and vaccinate as many children in that vulnerable age group as possible. So there is free flu vaccinations for anybody between 6 months and 5 years of age. You do need to get it from your GP. And I please really encourage everybody to go and do it because, you know, it might seem like it's not such a big thing to you as an adult, but for small children, a lot of them end up in hospital with quite severe respiratory distress.
Are you seeing much vaccine hesitancy among parents or even vaccine fatigue after what we went through with COVID?
Yeah, I think I would call it the vaccine fatigue is the biggest thing. And also with COVID, because children weren't our priority for vaccination because they weren't actually as high a risk of getting sick with the virus, I think there's been a sort of a misunderstanding amongst a lot of parents with children in that age group that influenza is also not a virus that they need to protect their children from. But unfortunately, influenza does make small children very sick and those who are much older. So our priority populations for getting vaccinated are, as I said, between 6 months and 5 years, and those 65 and over. And also, can I say, pregnant women, because if we can try and get everyone who is pregnant vaccinated as well, it also protects them during the pregnancy, but protects the baby as it's born as well. So those are the three big groups of people we really want to target to get your vaccine.
Are the cases of influenza that we're already seeing an indication that this may be one of the worst flu seasons on record?
Look, when I have conversations with Dr. Kerry Chant, we say we just have to watch and see. It's pretty difficult to 100% predict. But as I said, we look at what happened in Europe. We know that it was a bad season and people got very sick. So that's what we've been worried about. We've rolled out the flu vaccinations earlier than we usually do, so they have been available now for a couple of weeks. And we're very, very keen that as many people as possible avail themselves of that vaccine because we are afraid that it's bad. And as you said, the numbers are looking not particularly nice for the children. And you know, there's that whole thing that population of children have been very protected from viruses because of the isolation and staying at home for sort of a lot of them for 2 years.
Apart from vaccinating, what else can we do to protect ourselves? And how do we know if we're run down with a cold or we actually have a case of the flu?
Well, can I throw COVID in there as well? Don't forget that COVID is still there. We're still seeing large numbers of COVID, and it is actually on a surge at the moment as well. We still had 28 deaths this last week from COVID in New South Wales. So although flu is worrisome, COVID is still there. All the things that actually we've learnt about for COVID are exactly the same measures for influenza. So that is, you know, wearing a mask if you think that you potentially are infectious or you're going into a space where you don't want to get that infection either, knowing that that's a bit difficult with small children. Hand washing, proper hygiene, teaching people to use the crook of their elbow rather than their hand to cough and sneeze into. Stay out of the public when you're actually obviously infected. And again, for parents of small children, I know this is so difficult, but if you know that they've got a potential infection with something like the flu, then please keep them at home so that they don't spread it to all of their little buddies in the daycare centre.
Hopefully we're well trained by now in terms of the measures we can all take. Dr. Charlotte Hespe, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Have a good day.